and welcome to another episode of Chit Chat Friday. Today I have a very special guest for you, super excited, Sally from Manifesto Woman, and thank you so much for being here. I'm going to ask her a few questions about how she started, how she got from point A to point B, and then what Manifesto Woman is about and where she'd like to see it go. Thank you for being here.
Pleasure.
So first off, tell me your background. Who are you? What have you been doing, and how did we get to this point with Manifesto Woman?
Well, I'll give you the short story. Obviously, you can tell by my accent that I'm originally South African, but I have been living here since 1993.
Okay.
Desperately trying to lose the accent. Not that I actually spent 20 years in the corporate world.
Okay.
And by the end of the 20 years, it really felt like I was selling my soul, and I wanted to do something meaningful. And I've always loved clothes and fashion, and I've always been creative. And I was working in strategy and insight, so not necessarily a particularly creative industry. And it just suddenly, the penny dropped that, I turned 40 and I realized, not that life was passing me by. I had a very fulfilling life, but at the same time, I that sort of question, what is your legacy, kept on recurring in my mind. And I realized, God, no, I don't have one. I literally don't have one. And, your kids start growing up and they start looking at you and really understanding what it is that you do. And I felt like I didn't have anything meaningful to tell them. So I literally just abandoned my career and started off with kids.
Yeah.
I think any parent will tell you the rate at which kids use goes through toys and clothes, and they want to learn the guitar, and then 5 days later they want to do ice hockey, and then so I started off with kids, and almost from the day of launch everyone said, when are you starting Woman, and I thought, what, why not, absolutely, let me go for it. And I'm absolutely loving it. It's a total passion. I'm very much at the start of my journey, so I'm seeing where it goes, but very much, sort of to take a step back, I think for me, sort of the second-hand market, it felt like there was a massive gap, because you've got a lot of people sitting at the vintage spectrum, a lot of people sitting at the very premium end of the spectrum, your vestiaire and elite dressing and all of those, which have got all the massive, massive brand names, but it didn't feel like anything was really speaking to me. The charity shops feel like a grubby jumble sale. I mean, they do, it's all for a great cause, etc., but it's not somewhere I necessarily want to shop.
Yeah.
And so, well, where's catering for people like me who do a little bit of high street guiltily, who do a little bit of vintage shopping, who buy every now and again splash out on a high-end brand name, who sort of do, and then, love things like a piece of art and Acne, so the lower end of the designer spectrum. And nowhere was catering for me. So just, I've launched it, and the reaction so far has been so positive. It feels like the right thing. It feels like I'm drawing more people into secondhand.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm getting the message out about not always buying new. Yeah. And it's so interesting, because quite a few people have said to me, since you have started Manifesto Woman, I feel guilty about going into shops like Zara and H&M. Fantastic. Job done.
Exactly. This is what I wanted. And so tell me a little bit about where you'd like to see Manifesto Women go, and then we'll go into, how someone can send things in and things like that. But so what is your overall vision? What's your vision? I would love to be this sort of, my modus operandi is kind of stylish sustainability. Yeah. Because I think, again, with sustainability messaging, it can often tend towards being very worthy. Yeah. Which is, we need the people camping out in rainforests, stopping the logging, etc. Brilliant. But that's not me. Yeah. And it just felt like with sustainability messaging, there was no one speaking to me, busy, trying my best. Am I allowed to swear? Yes, you can swear. More the merrier.
Backing up a lot of the time, guiltily shopping in Zara every now and again, just normal every woman. And ideally what I want to do is showcase sustainability from an accessible platform that also feels stylish, that doesn't feel worthy or crunchy or,
what's the expression, hair shirt and sackcloth or whatever the expression is. You know, it's for people who love clothes, who love fashion, who love shopping, who love looking amazing. Yeah. And what I hope to prove is that you can do that without setting foot in a high street shop.
Yeah, exactly. So let's talk about your style and kind of what are some of your favorite designers and what you would like to be carrying, as well as you know, would like to be selling to those of us that, you know, trying to lean more towards the stylish sustainability.
Yeah, I mean,
great.
I think, I mean, you know what, I'm not a designer snob and I'm not a label snob. I think, you know, there's labels across the spectrum and brands across the spectrum that are producing amazing clothes, and if I'm brutally honest, Zara and H&M do every now and again pull out an absolute winner. Yeah. The issue obviously then is how they got there in terms of their production practices. Exactly. So it's the longer chain we need to consider rather than just what the clothes look like. But for me, what I'm trying to do more and more is support smaller brands. I think, you know, I don't know whether it's just because I notice it more because of what I do now, but it does feel like there's a groundswell of people who are in the same space as us, who love clothes, love fashion, love sustainability. Posse is one. It's an Australian brand. I actually did a little Instagram post on them the other day. Yeah. Ace and Jig, obviously. I mean, who doesn't love them? There's a brand whose name I always pronounce wrong. It's a Californian brand called Doan. Okay. Again, beautiful, small run, sustainable practices. So I think you look across the world, you know, and I'm trying to support them. I think what we can't ignore, though, is that they do tend to be more expensive. Of course. And I think for... you know, it's quite difficult, you know, budgets are stretched, particularly with people with kids. Yeah. And I think here again, it's like, hello, secondhand, because you can buy an Ace and Jig top for 70 quid secondhand rather than the 350 quid it cost you new. And, you know, suddenly these brands are accessible. So those brands I love. And then, you know, I mean, if we've got a rail of clothes, can you see the rail of clothes?
Not yet. We're going to go over there and look at them in just a second.
But I mean, it's literally from everything, from Alexander McQueen down to, you know, sort of vintage old brands that no longer exist. Yeah. And I mean, I love them all. I think as long as the quality fabrics, quality design, quality production, I think it speaks through. I mean, the other one actually, what I'm wearing now, and I absolutely adore them, is a piece of heart, and I buy them all the time. If I see it anywhere, I leap on it. It's beautiful. I always feel amazing in their clothes, and everyone comments when I wear them.
Yeah, they're really good. Yeah, really good. All right, we're going to go to the rail. We'll talk about some of the pieces that you have here, and we can talk about how you're going to wear spring, summer, and how you can send some things in to Sally as well to get going on Manifesto Woman. And then we'll come back and we'll just talk about some of your influences.
Cool.
Okay, so now we have a rail here, some clothes that Sally has put together for us. There are some amazing pieces, and she's going to walk us through these pieces and how she would style them and wear them. Spring, summer is coming, summer's here, snow's gone, and yeah, we'll go from there. So go ahead.
Well, the first thing I want to say is that every single item on this rail, including the shoes in the bag, which I'll show you in a moment, was bought secondhand. Great. So it's absolutely highlights and showcases what I was talking about. Yeah. That you don't need to buy new. So where should I start? I mean, you know, I'm just going to pull out a few pieces. I mean, the McQueen, this is literally falling apart. Look, you can actually see there's safety pins attached to it.
That makes it special.
Because I have worn this to its death. But I mean, I picked that up, I think, for about £25. Oh! Amazing, and that I mean, that never made it onto sale. That has stayed in my wardrobe. This I also want to pull out. This is a brand called C, and I think they might now have NY behind their name as well, or have dropped the NY, I can't remember. But it's a New York brand. It's super expensive, and this I'm actually selling at the moment for, I think it's £30 or £35. So it just shows you the amazing. It's a little play suit, a skort play suit. Shows you the quality that you can pick up. For phenomenally cheap prices. This, actually, you will know, Michael van der Ham. Yeah. Has he gone out of business? I tried to Google him the other day and I couldn't find any of his products. But I mean, you know, it's one of these things as well. You sort of see this from a distance and it looks beautiful, but maybe nothing special. It's when you actually see the quality
You know, when you're looking at the detail,
and look at that.
the pleats, and you
really
just suddenly understand why brands and designers and boutique labels are so much better than high street reproductions. You know, heavily influenced by their design. This is another piece of part number. I mean, they're just we've attached them onto it. But I mean, so the colours are incredible. So I mean, you know, and actually one more piece I want to pull out. This is, you know, I guess the other thing that I try and focus on is more current fashion. Yeah. I think the vintage market is quite saturated. Yeah. And what I want to do is showcase that you don't have to be buying things from 80 years ago. Exactly. For it to be amazing. Yeah. However, on that note, every now and again you come across an incredible vintage piece. So beautiful. That you just can't resist. Yeah. You know, amazing. And last little piece I'm going to pull out, these are Prada boots that I picked up second hand. I won't even tell you the price because it'll make you fall on the floor with envy. But I mean, just shows the quality. Yes, those are beautiful. They are beautiful, and when you feel the leather, you really again understand the difference between buying cheap. And I think actually that's one thing, just again, that I think is so important, and it took me so many years to get out of the habit of buying high volume, i.e. lots for cheap. Yeah. And now I buy incredibly little. I mean, I think for someone who works in fashion, I mean, I have so few pieces actually in my wardrobe. But what I do is I'd rather spend a lot of money on something beautiful. Yeah. I mean, this was obviously cheap, but it just shows I've been wearing this for, you know, 5 years and going strong. The Prada boots I bought 3-4 years ago. Amazing. I just, you know, season after season, and it just, you know, whereas you think about if you have erred and gone into Zara or H&M or the equivalent, you tend to wear that for one season, and you're over it. You know, either the garment's fallen apart or it kind of doesn't feel so good anymore. And I think that again, it just showcases how important quality is. Yeah. And if you can just get yourself out of the habitual spending of money. Oh, I'll buy it because it's cheap. Yeah, exactly. Rubbish. It must make you feel amazing, and if it doesn't make you feel amazing when you put it on, then don't buy it. Get rid of it. Yeah. And get rid of it in your closet as well. Exactly. That's something that the Step Up girls, I've been watching them on Instagram, and that's exactly what they've decided to do, that they're only going to start wearing things that make them amazing. Yeah. And it should be this thing that every woman should start now. Yeah. Because then, yes, like you say, you buy less and you buy beautiful pieces. Yeah. And you can buy pieces from someone like yourself, and there's no problem getting ready in the morning. Yeah. Like, no, I feel great in everything. Absolutely. Because I have a beautiful selection of clothing. Yeah. And it's something I think, having kids, you want to pass that down to them as well. Yeah. You want to start them very young, like you don't need loads. No, absolutely. Nice things. Exactly. Different for kids as they grow up so fast. But. Yeah. Then you can sell them on. This is the thing. Exactly. That's hence Manifesto Woman. Exactly. Now, are there any pieces that you see yourself wearing this spring that you're going to wear over? How would you style it up? How would you do it? Like what? I mean, this. Yeah, I mean, this. Amazing. I love this. You know, it's so. This feels very French Riviera kind of circa. I don't know, actually 70s. But I wore this for the first time actually in Morocco. I sort of. It's very look at me. So you do have to be in the right mood to be wearing it. Yeah. But I absolutely love it, and I think, you know, with all these things, I mean, I wear the same clothes day and night events, and when I'm dressing casually to go to a brunch, to a very fancy party, and it's literally the way, as you will know, the way you style it, and you can throw on a pair of heels, and I love a statement earring, as do you, and it's absolutely can make or break an outfit. Yeah. I only got my ears pierced after the birth of my first daughter. Okay. So I was 35 years old. Amazing. And I can't believe it took me so long. I have not been without a statement earring since. So I think, you know, and it's just, you know, don't be afraid to mix and match. You know, what would you might put it off the shelf or the rail and think, oh, this looks casual, but whack on a pair of fab mules, for example, and a bit of a, you know, a big statement earring and a red lip, and suddenly you've got a very, you know, interesting evening outfit. Exactly. Amazing. Yeah, I mean, this is another one I also bought. This is, and I've always pronounced this wrong as well. L'Envant, is that right? Incredible. It's beautiful. And I've got, it's stunning. And every time I wear it. But again, I'm very happy to wear this during the day.
Yeah, of course.
You know, just put it on with a bit of casual cotton pants and a sandal, and you've actually got a really amazing day outfit. And my absolute sort of top trick, if you're ever feeling something's too short or isn't feeling right, whack on a footless tight or you know, legging
all the time.
And it really, you would be amazed. So suddenly, if you feel like you don't have the thighs for a play suit, whack on a pair of gold footless tights, and you've suddenly got an amazing outfit that you feel super confident in.
Amazing.
And jackets, jackets over everything. I mean, this I actually picked up in Palm Springs.
Amazing.
It's again, God, I can't pronounce anything. Nordstrom, is that how you say it?
Yep.
I mean, I think I picked this up for about £3. And again, it's just a long line jacket. I've got so many of them. It just can, you know, jazz up a very casual little shift dress. And you put that on, and suddenly you feel amazing. So,
brilliant. Amazing. Thank you. So, for someone, a woman, especially wanting to start up her own business, what's your advice for them starting up? Because, you know, a lot of us learn as we go, make lots of mistakes, as I have. So, what would be like your top 3 pointers or advice for saying, you know, look out for this or do that? Or...
I mean, I could honestly speak to you for about 2 hours about this, so I'll condense it down. I think the first thing is, if you're passionate about something and you want to do it, and I think we've all probably made this mistake at the start, is you try and carry on going down the road that you were on and trying to do this as sort of a side hobby. I think if you need to do it and you're going to do it, you need to do it properly, and you need to put your full weight behind it. And I think, you know, stop what you're doing and start your passion. And if it doesn't work, and the best advice actually I got on this is that if it doesn't work out, just go back to what you were doing. It's still there. You're not going to lose your skills. You know, the industry's still going to be there. You still have your experience. Just go back. So that was, okay, brilliant. So the worst case scenario is that I failed at my new thing and I go back to what I was doing before. Not a drama. The second thing is, hold your course, because I think, you know, you've got this idea, you've got this kernel, you understand your ethos and your drive and whatever it is that is propelling you forward and what your brand's about, and you will hear 1,000 voices.
Oh God.
And you'll go on Instagram and someone will be doing something slightly differently, and someone will give you some feedback, and it's so easy to start veering wildly. It's just stay your course. You know what you're doing. You know, you believed in it at the start. Carry on. And I think the third thing, if I was just going to give 3 tips, is you're going to make mistakes. Don't beat yourself up about it. You're going to waste money. You're going to make bad decisions. You know, it's inevitable, and it's going to happen. And I think I would be amazed if you can find someone who started a business that didn't have, at least, I mean, honestly, not wanting to put you off starting a business, but at least kind of 100 blips in their first year. You know, things that went wrong, things that you envisaged were going to happen one way, end up not happening at all, or happening totally differently. And I mean, you just got to start. You know, I think we all, even after 6 months, look back on our business plan when we started and laugh, because nothing went according to plan.
Oh shit.
But I mean, in a way also, obviously that is quite funny, but in a way also what's so interesting is that it makes you realize how far you've come. When I look back on what I planned to be doing, and you know, I realize actually how much I've achieved in such a short space of time. And I mean, I'm so at fledgling and at the start, but even still, just, you know, what I've learned, you know, you were talking about, you know, learning director skills and, you know, editing skills, and, you know, I've been learning Photoshop and, you know, all sorts of editing software, and I mean, a million things that I just never thought I would be able to do. Exactly. So, I mean, it's so much fun, and I love being in charge of my own destiny, and I love building a legacy, and I love doing something meaningful. And, you know, I mean, you know, in the corporate world, obviously after a 20-year career, you're making a reasonable amount of money, and I'm now making no money. But I couldn't be happier, and that's been such an amazing lesson for me in terms of what success looks like and how I define success and what makes me happy. And I, you know, in a corporate setting or when I was doing something I wasn't necessarily enjoying, everything was about the money because that's the only reason I was doing it.
Exactly.
Whereas now it couldn't be less important.
Yeah.
It's amazing. So it really, I mean, I think if you've got an idea, if you've got a passion, do it. And the worst case scenario, go back to what you were doing before.
Amazing. That is really, really good tips. Because that's the thing, people don't talk about, well then just go back. Because you have so much of, you hear so many success stories, which is great, and you want to hear those, but you also need to hear about people that said, I tried it, I gave it my best shot, it didn't work at the moment, and they go back for a bit, save some money, come back, do it again. So it never means actually that it's failure, it's just
No, but you know, I think as well we need to redefine what failure is, because everyone's embarrassed. Oh, I tried and failed. It's like, oh my God, but you tried.
Yeah.
Let's put the focus on the fact that the only reason you're failing is because you tried something.
Exactly.
I could have just carried on in my corporate career. I'd never have failed.
Yeah.
But I wasn't actually doing anything.
Yeah.
So I think I actually now, you know, people that sort of the dreamers who do is the best way I can describe it. I love those people.
Yeah.
Just give it a go. You know, and if it doesn't work out, oh my God, who cares? The fact that you put action behind a dream, amazing.
Yeah, exactly.
So failure is not, I just think, you know, it's our ego saying, oh, I don't want to fail. It doesn't matter.
It doesn't.
Yeah.
It really doesn't. Well, thank you so much. Before we go, so women that have clothing, do they just email you?
Yeah.
And then send you photos and you can say yes or no, or
what
do you suggest?
Yeah, so we've got a Manifesto Woman, we have a premium, and for kids, but for women we've got a premium service where if you've got a wardrobe full of amazing labels that you don't have the time or whatever to sell yourself, you can send them to me and we'll do all the legwork for you. It preferably will be sort of very high-end high street, by that I mean sort of All Saints territory and upwards, those sort of brands. You know, if any of the brands you've mentioned today, like A Piece Apart, Rachel Comey, you know, all sort of more sort of indie brands are probably is the best way I could describe it.
Yeah.
Those are my holy grail, because that's where I think the women we're targeting, the brands they love.
Great.
So yeah, just email me. You can get me on Instagram, get me on Facebook, although preferably Instagram. Yeah. I'm never on Facebook.
There you go now.
Never remember to update it. It's like every week it's like, crap, I haven't been on here for the week. So yeah, and then just send them through and I'll sell them for you and you get paid. That's as simple as that.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
So please find Sally on Instagram at Manifesto Woman.
Woman
with an A.
Yeah.
And then it's www.manifestowoman.com. And do please check out her Instagram and her website and get a hold of her. Thank you so much for being here with me today. And till next time. Thanks.
Bye.